Davey Hamilton stepping out of the number 14 car, so Trey Burke moving over. They did fix the number 11 car, which was a good thing because Nathan Bird had issues with the 88. Unfortunately, blown power plant for the 88. He stepped out of the 88. He now inherits the number 11 car as he moves over to that race car for today's Out Front 100. So getting set to fire off as you watch your front row. Down and away for those two. Curtis Swanson, also some issues with the number 77 during qualifying today, or during the practice qualifying session. As he had a bit of a clutch issue. That car came apart down the pit area. They got it back together again. It is fixed. He is fired off and on his merry way as we look back through the field. So far, all cars able to start under their own power. As Travis Wellpot, the number 18 car, joins the field. Looks like, unfortunately, the 111 to Tom Patterson will need a push. He'll drop back to the tail of the field for Patterson. It's Patrick Lawson able to fire off. Lawson had fuel issues earlier on. They had that fuel system part on the number 2 car, trying to get the fuel flow up to snuff for Patrick Lawson. And just behind Brian Gossel. Gossel, unfortunately, a blown engine during the practice qualifying session. An engine swap took place. Chevy power now underneath the hood of Brian Gossel, the Colorado racer. So lots of activity taking place out here at Worldwide Technology Raceway with the Silver Crown Series. So we get all drivers underway. Still one more car yet. Derek USAC, the 111 car, fires. The starter coming out of the front of that race car. We'll see if he's able to motivate under his own powers. Crew's going to give him a little push. B-Shack. I'm sorry, that's the 14 car rather. My apologies. Trey Burke in the number 14 car down there having some issues getting fired off. So Trey Burke again moving over to the 14 car after fuel pump issues with the number 11. So the field taking shape out on the racing surface. Honorary starter Doug Cheatham, the operations manager with Out Front Media, down in the flag stand, will be set to wave the green flag and kick off the Out Front 100 here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Our next stop with the Silver Crown Series happens on the dirt mile down in DuQuoin, Illinois. That'll be coming up here before too awful long. Before you know it, if you want to go down and catch the Silver Crown cars on the dirt, you can do that on September the 2nd, DuQuoin State Fairgrounds for the Ted Horn 100. So still watching the 14 car. It looks like a push now for Trey Burke. He'll drop back to the tail of the field. Pace truck out there taking him around. Bommarito Automotive Group. A shout out to Bommarito and all they have done with Worldwide Technology Raceway through the years. As Burke comes around and joins the field. Watching the starter stand. So we get set to go, one to go from the starter stand. This will be it. This time out of the corner. The standalone series since 1971. Tailor-made for speedways and long ways. A throwback to the times old, yet still proving ground where names are made and reputations earned. Here at Worldwide Technology Raceway, they'll post straightaway speeds in excess of 180 miles per hour on this mile-and-a-quarter circuit. An upright chassis car weighing just 1,675 pounds and powered by 360 cubic inches of 800-plus horsepower. These are the bold, these are the brave. This is the premier division of the United States Auto Club, and it's time for you to make some noise because this is Silver Crown and the Out Front 100. So the rumble and the roar down into turn number 1 and 2. Pace truck is set to pull to the infield. Green flag will fly out of turn number 4 on this unique mile-and-a-quarter circuit. And I know they talk about it many times, but something a lot of the drivers obviously have to adapt to. And again, as Chase Briscoe said during his race out here, you'll never have a perfect car at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Turn 1 and 2 tight. Turn number 3 and 4 more wide open. Different banking on each end of the racetrack. Long straightaways. Excessive speeds for the Silver Crown cars. Those rear tires swelling up considerably. The draft in full effect. So we get set to cut them loose. 100 miles the distance. 80 laps around the mile-and-a-quarter circuit. As the field begins to tighten up into turn number 3. Honorary starter Doug Cheatham atop the flag stand, green flag in hand, ready to cut this field loose for the out front 100. As they roll into turn number 3, ease into turn number 4. Slowly towards that green flag. Green flag is up, and the hammers are down. Out front 100 is officially underway, and we go 3 wide for the race lead. Down the inside, Mario Klauser makes a bold move for the race lead initially on this one. Takes him into turn number 1. 92 car goes out into the number 1 spot. Company sitting to the outside. Big hustle down the back straightaway. Logan Seavey digging and pawing for all he's worth on that outside line. 2 cars just ahead of Cody Swanson, punching a huge hole in the air. Back behind, everybody else falls into the draft, still side by side in the mid-pack of the race. So we roll out at turn number 4 for lap number 1. Who's gonna lead it? Klauser shuffle back, big move to the outside, put Seavey onto the point. Here comes Cody Swanson in tow. Slides into that draft down in turn number 1 and 2. Both of those cars working to the outside of Klauser. Klauser, the 92 car. Lone Sport down on the inside is going to catch some company out of C.J. Leary. Leary looking to go to the back. Nope, 3 wide for the number 2 spot. Leary, big move to the inside. Good power coming out of that beast chassis down low for C.J. Leary. Was quick earlier on today. Now settles himself into the number 3 spot. Was not going to challenge on that 77 car for second on the field. Or is he? Out of turn number 4 he comes. Foot to the 10 for C.J. Leary, the number 6. Up front, Seavey still holds down that P1 spot here as we roll into turn number 1 and 2 with Leary putting pressure on the 77 car Swanson. Cranked it onto the back straightaway. Swanson now a little peek down to the inside, makes his move on Seavey. Seavey caught out wide. Leary sucks into the draft. He'll move into the number 2 spot. Seavey shuffled back into third for now. Back behind, Klauser still hanging tough inside those top 4. They've separated from P5 on the field as they hustle out of the corner down the front straightaway. Big moves coming from back behind as well. The 91 car, Justin Grant feeling his oats. Now looks down to the inside, the number 19 down into the corner. Davey Hamilton Jr. came away with the second place finish last year. Now shuffled back into 7th on the field as Justin Grant starts to find some speed for the 91. Got himself around Hamilton. Hamilton a little peek down to the inside for the number 19 car. Thought he was going to make a move down into turn number 3. That's not the case. He'll follow in the footsteps as we stay clustered up front. Roll on to the front straightaway for lap number next. Meanwhile, back behind, big moves coming around the outside line out of turn number 4. There's a ripper for the number 5 at Dakota Armstrong. Armstrong said he did not feel exactly stellar during the practice and qualifying session earlier on. They worked on that race car. Now he settles himself in. He's starting to pick him off, and the number 5 car working from towards the tail of the field. He hustles just behind McVetta, and there's a move down to the inside of McVetta. He'll try to pick off one more down into turn number 3 and advance his position for the number 5 cars. Up front, your race leader out of the corner. Patrick Lawson, still fuel issues for the number 2 car, pulls off the racetrack. He'll retire from contention as C.J. Leary, the number 6, leads him down into the corner. Caution coming out on the racetrack. Unfortunately, stack us up here. As Tom Patterson stops in that 111 car. Some issues for Patterson to 111. And talked to him earlier on. He said it felt good in a practice session. The Patterson Chevrolet builds his own power plants underneath the hood. He said, I'm not going to wind it quite as tight as these other guys out here, but unfortunately still issues for 111 car. Fast Times Fabrication, Bellman Oil sponsors on the 111. The racer out of Argus, Indiana. Races on both the pavement and the dirt. So a number of these drivers, some specializing in pavement, some specializing in dirt, but a number of them running on both surfaces. Silver Crown Series, which is unique to the series that we do find them on both surfaces. Rolling into today, the championship points standings. Cody Swanson currently leading the driver point standings. Logan Seavey, the 22 car, currently second. Mario Klauser, Justin Grant, Keely Bryson, the top 5 in the national points. Unfortunate tow truck coming out for the 111 car. So 6 laps scored into books. You will see the laps count down under caution here, so caution laps do count. We do have to finish under a green-white checker, so Patterson thought he was going to be able to push off. That's not the case. So C.J. Leary sitting up front. The number 6 car had a great run going last year. Looked to be a challenger for the race lead and perhaps the win in this one. And unfortunately, mechanical woes had a right front tire go down on it. Took him out of contention for the number 6. But Leary, with 3 feature event wins on the season with the sprint cars so far, has not visited victory lane with Silver Crown as Patrick Lawson reports to pit lane yet again for the Edwardsville, Illinois runner. Lives about 15 minutes from here. He's been over here and actually had a practice session. But again, fuel issues with the number 2 car, which, as you can imagine, if you're going to run it wide open down the front straightaway and hit excessive speeds, or speeds over 180 mile per hour is what I'm trying to say, but not very well. You need all the fuel you can muster. So we get one to go from the starter stand. Set to cut him back loose again. This will be lap number 7. This time under the flag stand. So set to go back to green this time, coming out turn number 4. Again, thanks so much for coming out and joining us here at Worldwide Technology Raceway today. The NTT IndyCar Series, Bommarito Automotive Group 500, going to be coming up at 2 o'clock. Plenty to see and do. I don't know if you've upgraded your ticket or not. There's little kiosks you can do so all around the property. You might want to do that and check out the seating situation behind pit road. That's one of the coolest places to watch a race. Big screen TVs down there, and you're right there in the midst of the action. So 7 laps scored and in the books. 73 laps remain. C.J. Leary set to bring the field back to life. Is he a sitting duck up front? We will find out as the pace begins to pick up. And turn number 4, and the green flag once again goes high in the air. Well, I'd say he's not so much a sitting duck. If he is, good luck shooting because he is way out front. Stellar start for the number 6 car. Leaps to life and pulls out by about 5 car lengths over Cody Swanson, holding down that number 2 spot. Side by side, back behind, a battle for 4th. Coming out of the corner, Klauser's able to separate. Now goes to the outside of Logan Seavey down the corner. Klauser, a tremendous run into turn number 3. Pulled right up to the haunches of the number 77. It's got to get on the binders. That'll be up to attack out of turn number 4 as Seavey goes back to work on the 92 car. As a shuffling back a spot, they run side by side, just ahead of the number 19 car, Davey Hamilton Jr. Hamilton looking for a good run out here again today at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Seems to take to this place like a, well, wait for it, duck to water. It's a lot of duck for you there in just a couple laps. It's down the back chute they go. Up front, C.J. Leary still on the point with Cody Swanson pestering into turn number 3. Might be able to get a run on him this time. Coming out of the corner, Swanson stalks that number 6 car onto the front chute. It's tight to the wall for CJ. Hunkered down behind the wheel of number 6, the Ford Power underneath the hood of that Beast chassis. Singing a merry tune down into turn number 1 and 2. Back behind Hamilton, looking to make a big move. Went up high on the racetrack, drops the nose on it, tries to run on Logan Seavey. He's currently scored 4th on the field. Start to bottle up a little bit further back behind Derek Eshak. Good qualifying for him earlier on as Tom Patterson pulls off the racetrack. He'll bow out with the 111 car. Eshak, the contender here, is trouble for the number 6. C.J. Leary off the pace on the front straightaway. The field will pass on through. Unbelievable the string of luck that team has had. Plaid Racing Enterprises, Millwood Disc Brakes, Lucas Oil Center, Brown Miller Racing Solutions, and Leary slow in turn number 2. He's going to bring out the caution for us here on lap number 11. Cody Swanson inheriting the lead. He's going to race it back around. We will score another lap into the books as they race down the front straightaway. And here comes the move out. Davey Hamilton Jr. Pop to the outside of Logan Seavey there for just a moment. Lap number 12 complete. Caution flag flies. And unfortunately, C.J. Leary looks like his day may be coming to an end. Had issues earlier on today during the qualifying and hot lap session or practice session for the number 6 car with that right rear on that race car, keeping the wheel tight on the car, but they had worked on that during the downtime between the practice and today's feature event. So not sure what's happened for CJ, but another tough break here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. This is the 8th event of the season here for the Silver Crown Series. 7 prior to this, Brady Bacon picked up the season opener at Belleville High Banks out in Belleville, Kansas. Bobby Santos picked up the win at the Hoosier 100 in Brownsburg, Indiana. Logan Seavey was victorious at Port Royal Speedway at the Speed Palace out in Port Royal, Pennsylvania. Cody Swanson, 3 in a row for him as he picked up the win at Madison International Speedway, Winchester Speedway in Indiana, and Toledo Speedway in Ohio. And then Logan Seavey with a win on the Big Dirt Mile at Illinois State Fairgrounds just a couple weeks ago on August 19th. Looking ahead on the schedule, September 2nd will be at DuQuoin State Fairgrounds on the Dirt Mile there, and then 2 days at Eldora Speedway during the Ford Crown. That's September 22nd and 23rd. You can catch all 3 USAC National Divisions in action at the Big E. And then the season finale happens at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park in Brownsburg, Indiana on October 14th for the Silver Crown Series. So a short but mighty series for these Silver Crown cars. As Leary on the front of a push truck makes his way down pit lane. So watching that right rear tire on CJ Leary's car. It looks like it is a little bit of a wobble there. Unless my eyes deceive me, may have picked up some rubber coming down pit road, but regardless, tough break for the number 6. Turns to pit side. He'll retire from competition here today for CJ Leary. So a tough break for that racer as we get set to go back to green. One to go from the starter stand. Cody Swanson out in the number 1 spot. Mario Klauser looking stout. Klauser with a lot of pavement experience. He's also been finding speed on the dirt tracks for the racer behind the wheel of the number 92 car. Looking stout here today. Response Management Services, Rim and Carter Bag sponsors for the Kazmark Motorsports 92. Beast chassis with the Ed Pink Toyota underneath hood. Ed Pink, the gentleman who developed the Toyota power plant for Toyota in the midgets. So he'll tighten up behind Cody Swanson, set to take the green. 14 laps scored in the books. Just 66 laps remain. Max, a 75-gallon fuel cell on the back of it. A lot of fuel weight going to burn off here in these coming laps. You're going to see some cars change up their handling as that takes place. So we get back to the whip out of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Good start all the way back through the field. Justin Grant look to do something. Here comes Hamilton down to the inside. He'll challenge on Klauser down into turn number 1 and 2. He's got position on him, so he'll try to hold it down on the inside. Klauser kept up to the high side for the 92 car. They'll drag race out of the corner, put Hamilton into P2 on the field, and may have propped open the door for Logan Seavey. See how this plays out down turn number 3 as they roll into the corner. Hamilton just a little wider entry down at that end of the racetrack for the number 19 car, working that number 2 spot. So we'll on to the front straightaway, hot pursuit, tuck up to the tail tank in the draft. Not yet snapping to the outside to make a challenge for position. Seavey content to ride back in the number 4 position. Derek Bishak right behind the 131 car. Justin Grant still running 6. Bobby Santos 7th. Cal O'Gara, Trey Burke, and Keely Bryson your top 10. So we got movement back in the mid